Hey everyone, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel, please like, subscribe and comment and all that and all that great jazz. And today basically I'm just continuing the series that I started, which is Women in Christ. And I've already done one video already, so I need to continue doing them again. A few people have suggested that I should continue doing them because they actually enjoyed them, so that's why I'm doing it today. Yeah. So basically we're doing Ruth today, and I love this book so much. I just think it's such a beautiful story. She really shows women like how to be in society and to be around other people. And God is not really talked about a lot in this book, but through their stories we can see God working through them. So let's dive into the word now. Ruth, who was she? So she's a Moabite woman, and she married into a different culture from a different land. So she married into a family who consists of a father and two sons, and both of the sons, they married into a Moabite family. And one of the wives' name is Ortha, I don't know, and the next one is Ruth. So she was a widow because her husband died. Ruth's husband died. So basically in the story we have three main people, which is Naomi, the widow, who lost her family. And Ruth is the widow who lost her husband and moved with Naomi to Naomi's country, Naomi's land or whatever. And the third person is Boaz, and we'll get to read all of them after. So Ruth was a widow, and with this point I just want to say, like, honestly, like, Ruth was so young that Naomi told her that when her son died, that you don't need to stick around with me anymore, you're young, go and and do whatever you want to do. But it just shows that Ruth was quite young, and she could have left Naomi and went to marry a Moabite man. She didn't. She's so strong as well. You can see, like, my own family, like my own mother, she's a widow herself, and I can just see how hard it is. It's still hard for her. And just thinking about Ruth, she's young as well, and just like, how did she do it? And also another point about who she was is that she was quite loyal. Like the loyalty that she showed towards Naomi, it was like, wow, like, like she could have went home after all of this happened, but she decided to follow Naomi because she said to her that do not press me to leave you or to turn back from following you. Where you go I will go, where you lodge I will lodge, for your people shall be my people and your God my God. Where you die I will die, where there I will be buried. May the Lord do to us and so to me, and more as well, from even when death parts me from you. Yeah, so she was like, you know what, I'm not going anywhere, I'm here to stay, you can't get rid of me. Also, through her loyalty, it kind of for me, it showed me how God is so loyal to us. Like how in any circumstance that we go through, he's not just gonna leave you like just up and leave. Like, that's just not how God is there to stay. And the thing is, like, Naomi and Ruth were with each other through the happy times. But now that Naomi is in her sad moments, her sad season, Ruth wasn't ready to leave her. She's like, I'm not leaving you. Just because you're in this season, I'm not going to leave you. That's the same with God, With God, we share that good times. And when we have our sad times, our sad seasons, doesn't mean that God's going to leave you. He's still there. The sad season is just for you to be able to, glorify God, and for glory to go back to God. The next thing I'm going to touch on is her impact, or what she did in the story. So for Ruth, she left what she knew. So she left her hometown, she left her mom, her dad, her siblings, her family, all of them. She left everything that she knew that was familiar to her comfort zone, her home. And she went to follow, or she went to pour herself in something that she didn't understand. Or in life, when you're doing something, you're so scared to put faith in the unknown or the thing that you don't understand. And she did that. Like, she poured her faith in Naomi, and she put faith in God. Because she said to Naomi, your people is going to be my people, and your God is going to be my God. Therefore, she had to obviously follow the God of Naomi, the God of Naomi. But the second point I want to mention is her obedience towards elders. In the commandments, it tells us in honor your mother and your father, honor your father and your mother, so that days may be long in the land. So with this, it doesn't mean just because God says honor your father or your mother, your biological parents. It doesn't mean that just because he said that's who you only obey. Basically, your auntie, your own. She took orders from Naomi, and it was really nice to see like a contrast between the two generations, or the two women. They were completely different. One was from an older generation, and one was from a younger. But they they got along so well, and like even with myself, like I really like that dynamic where, especially in church, when you have the older generation, the younger generation, they come together and they're almost like friends in a way. But as a younger person, you understand that they're older than me, and they're like my friends. I can come and talk to them, you know. But yeah, and also another thing that I want to point out in this point is that whenever we obey our elders, there's a certain blessing that we get over our lives. Like, in the sense of a lot of elders or a lot of older people, they always say, oh, God bless you, this child, like, God bless you. That blessing that they're putting on you is gonna come true. It's gonna come true, especially when your parents are like, my child, I bless you with so much things, you know. Stuff like that happens, you know. Our words are so powerful, you know. But we can easily say this, but at the same time, it's not easy. Just because a lot of the times elders, they can think that they're always right with everything, and so when you're having a discussion or talking, you might not agree with what they're saying, but at the same time, we always have to keep our cool and just understand that, okay, even though they're not right, I don't agree, but let me just sit down and just listen, and yeah, it can be tough at times, but that's just the best way it to be. Don't mind me. This is my hot chocolate, my friend. Oh my god. This is life. So yeah, we get blessings from elders, so it's good to respect our elders. And from this, I want to read in Ruth. It says, and Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, let me go to the field and glean among the ears of grain behind someone in whose sight I may find favor. She said to her, this is Naomi, go my daughter. Go my daughter. So she went. If your parents say something bad upon you, it really does happen. Like, it actually does. Like God said, they're your gods on earth, you know. So what they say will touch you. Don't think that it will not touch you. It will touch you. Just stuff like that. It does. That's why as well, parents need to be careful what they say to their kids, because it's like, oh, you don't want to curse your kid, do you? No. My third point is that she reaped what was goodness due to the kindness of her heart. Her kindness was seen through everyone. And the thing is, this man says that it was told. Someone told me that what you have done. So basically in life, when you're kind to people, a lot of times they also show you the kindness as well. It doesn't always happen all the time, but usually it does. When you're good to people, you're gonna see good as well coming back. And the thing is, it's so important to keep a good reputation. Like, no, how to explain it. Like, when someone says, oh, who is this person? The person will be like, oh, well, this is... And what that person's saying should be positive. It shouldn't be negative, because, we're the ones that are responsible for our own reputation. A lot of times people, mistake being kind or whatever to being a pushover and stuff. I've learned this from my father. My dad was such... he was such a nice person that sometimes I felt like he... people took advantage of it. And sometimes I'll even tell him Dad, but he was always like, Merve, it's not important, hey, I can't change who I am, that's who I am. And at the end of the day, we're always gonna get rewarded for our goodness. So that's just always something that stuck with me. The fourth point, it is the way she presented herself in the new surrounding was with dignity and respect. So like I've been saying, your reputation is important to uphold, to upkeep in a good manner, and also just have dignity and respect. Especially as women, we need to be respectful of ourselves, of our bodies, of us, because if we're not like that, anyone can come and mess with us. It's important for you to portray that for other people to see. Yeah, a lot of times, guys, they know when that person is very easy, or that person has no respect for themselves. That's why you see certain guys, they treat, like I was saying, guys, they know when you know, this person is easy or this person doesn't have respect for themselves. They know, so they'll treat you the way you treat yourself. So it's really important to just, you know, respect yourself, you know. Last thing that I wanted to say is that she was a blessing for Naomi. For Naomi, she lost her family, but she lost her sons and she lost her husband, and she felt like God literally just deserted her and left her. It has been far more bitter for me than for you, because the hand of the Lord has turned against me. So she felt like she wouldn't see happiness again. And the thing is, true that obviously that was her sad season, and obviously in life we always have that good season and the bad season, and this was her bad season. But she didn't realize that good season was also coming. And a lot of times when we're in our bad seasons, we forget that God allowed this to happen because of a reason. Even though I'm in that bad season, I know for sure that God's gonna bring me out of this and bring me to a good season where I'm gonna be happy again. And for Ruth, that was the case. And not Ruth, sorry, for Naomi that was the case. And the thing is, she forgot is that Ruth was in her life for a purpose, for a reason, and her reason was to bring her into the happy season. And the thing is, sometimes we like to neglect people because we don't see them as necessary in our lives. But you need to remember that this person that you're neglecting, they're the ones that are gonna bring you into a season of your life. They're the ones that are gonna help you to bring you into that job that you have. They're the ones that are gonna bring you into that blessing that God's trying to bless you. You know, a lot of the time God works through people and stuff. I believe that God works through people. Therefore, you shouldn't always neglect people, or just because that person, oh, they're not necessary for me right now. You know, yeah, God never left her. He was with her. God was working through Ruth to bring Naomi into her new season in life. Yeah. So basically, I want to touch on what God did for Ruth in the story. So God basically blessed Ruth with a godly man, and also blessed for a child at the end. With Ruth's new babe, he had so much respect for himself and dignity, and he was a man of honor. You know, with him, he decided to do things in the traditional way, the things in a respectful way. You know, for me, my culture, where I come from, I'm Congolese, so in our culture or our custom or whatever, we get married and then we have kids. But for me to dishonor my culture or my traditions or whatever is to marry out of wedlock, basically. And being Christian also, marrying out of wedlock is a big, oh, you know, big scandal or whatever. But yeah, but here we can also see that it was a custom that if your family member has died and they've left a wife, one of your family members can marry them. And he decided to do the right way, and he goes to her that he says in chapter 12, he goes, "But now, though it is true that I am a near kinsman, there is another kinsman more closely related than I. Remain this night, and in the morning, if he will act as next of kin for you, good. Let him do so. If he is willing to not act as next king for you, then as the Lord lives, I will act as the next of king for you. Lie down until the morning." He's respectful, and he decided to do things the way it should be in their culture or in their tradition or whatever. And you know, when you get with someone that is a godly man, he should be able to follow the things in the word, the things that God has said. He should be able to follow them. And obviously we're humans, you know, and stuff like that, but that's how it should be, and that was how it was conveyed. And also, a lot of times we don't know how to identify God's blessing sometimes, in the sense of sometimes we have a big long list of, oh yeah, I want my man to be 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 3", you know, like you're literally 5 foot and you want your guy to be 6 foot. Like what? Like, put that stress on yourself of looking up to, like, why? You want that tall ass guy, you want him to have a beard that connects, you want I don't know, you want him to have the flies fit. Okay, cool, that's all cool, but at the end of the day, is that really what you need? No, to be honest, that's not really what you need. If God blesses you with a guy that's 6 foot like that, then hey, you're blessed. But if he doesn't, that's not a problem, because that's not your blessing. That's not how your blessing should look like. That's why a lot of people miss their blessings, because they think, oh yeah, my blessing should look like this, because that's how I've put it to be. But God said, no, 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 my list is, this is what he should be looking like, not your list. It's just merely, you know, human standards or the things of the flesh or whatever. But this is what I want you to have. He's not gonna be 6 foot. He's gonna be literally 5'11". That's how, you know. So yeah, you shouldn't really, you know, you should really be able to identify God's blessings, you know, in your life. Because with Ruth, her bae, he was an older man, I believe, and she was young. And because in the Bible he says, "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. This last instant of your loyalty is better than the first. You have not gone after young men, whether poor or rich." He's calling her my daughter, and he's also saying you didn't go for the young, rich or poor. So that just speaks to me that he must have been older, and she married someone not in her age range or whatever. There was a big age gap, but that's how her blessing looked like. And I also want to touch on something that I wrote in one of my Bible studies that I was doing. It was on the book of Ruth as well. And it just reads in Ruth 1:6, it says, we end up, this is my notes basically, we end up where we are supposed to be. It doesn't matter how far you are from your blessings. If it's meant to be, it will be. Your blessings are yours to take. If we had God's eyes, we would be able to see the blessings coming. And also your blessings always look different than the rest. And also God was faithful to Ruth in the sad times and the good times. He was there for her when she was a widow, and was there also when she gave birth and she married, you know. Yeah guys, that's basically what I just want to say about Ruth. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I ramble a lot, guys, I really do. And yeah, hopefully I can record next week. I'm gonna try and just keep these videos coming as soon as possible, because yeah, I need to. If you have any suggestions that you want me to do, please hit me down in the comments. Let your girl know, because it's actually really hard making these YouTube videos. Like, you just run out of ideas. Like, what do I do next, you know? But yeah guys, when you talking a lot, it kind of is very exhausting. So I don't know how you extroverts do it. I'm an introvert, so I don't talk too much. Anyways,